everybody, Elirra here. So today I want to cover the release of the new creatures and the update for April 1st. The first creature is the Puffwump. The Puffwump is a Tier 1 terrestrial omnivore. The species is available in the Omnivore Gacha. The stored version is available in the Shoom shop for 100 Shooms. The description states that, with a thick coat of fluffy down, Puffwumps are made to thrive in the frigid temperatures of Sonaria's coldest environments. During heavy blizzards, the brightly colored puffs of feathers on their tails help them find one another amongst the heavy snowfall. For you role players out there, the creature behavior states, Puffwump live in large groups of dozens of individuals. They may not be the strongest, but they are surprisingly bright for such small creatures. The large groups live in complex burrows underground, using several burrows for different purposes. Communal nesting dens, food storage dens, and spacious sleeping dens are among the most common to see in Puffwump warrens. Their light bodies aid in keeping them above freshly fallen snow, but they have no issues traveling through thick snow by digging their way through. As a defense strategy, Puffwump have been known to rapidly burrow themselves in snow to hide from predators. Although they usually choose to flee or hide from dangerous situations, when it comes down to fighting, they rely on their large digging claws to scratch at their attackers. If other individuals are nearby, they will all quickly follow suit and pile on top of the predator. It's not the most effective, but it's a sight to behold. Newly hatched Puffwump have no feathers and are kept underground in warm burrows until they grow their first feathers. They don't get their bright tail plumes or spotting until adulthood. A group of Puffwump is called a puffle. Now for the appearance. The Puffwump is a small bipedal creature whose appearance seems to take inspiration from raptors. The majority of its body is covered in thick feathers, so much so it looks like a cotton ball. It has small arms and skinny legs that stick out of its fluff. It also has a long, thin, unfeathered tail, with a fan of feathers on the tip. The body is white, with some patches of orange on the body, and a fully orange tail. The skin is gray. Males have a large feather located on their forehead, and females have rows of small feathers along the top of their head. Now for the abilities. The Puffwump has Bleed and Bleed Defense. Bleed is a passive ability that is applied through melee attacks and will gradually damage targets percentually, meaning that regardless of max health, two fully healthy creatures with identical bleed defense will end up with the same percent of health left for the same amount they suffer the status effect. Bleed also blocks normal health regeneration. Currently, bleed is ineffective in small quantities, when it can be healed even while moving. While stationary, targets with bleed are limited to a max of 30 bleed, but can stack bleed up to 60 if the target moves too much. At around 1 to 10 bleed, it deals 1 times the damage every 3 seconds. The creature can't fall below 10% if sitting or laying. At around 11 to 20 bleed, it decreases stamina regeneration by 25%. More than that, and it decreases stamina regeneration by 50%. Damage done by bleed is increased the more bleed effect you are suffering. Bleed damage only stops if you are gravely injured, below 13 to 10% of health, and you are sitting or laying down. It also has Bleed Defense. Bleed Defense is a passive ability that allows creatures to resist the effects of bleed. If a creature's bleed defense is 100%, then they are immune to bleed done by melee direct attacks. A little trivia about Puffwump. The concept art was by Kazoo on the Creatures of Sonaria Discord. The inspiration was from roadrunners, feathered raptors, and burrowing birds. Another heavy inspiration was an illustration in the book All Yesterdays by C.M. Kozman, John Conway, and Darren Naish. The animations for Puffwump are as follows: walk, run, Mud rolling. I had to show this one because it's super cute. Sit. Play. Cower. And aggro. Super cute aggro. Look at him go. The calls are as follows. Broadcast. Friendly. Aggro. And talk. I feel like Puffwump shares the calls with another creature, but I cannot for the life of me remember. If you know which one it is, go ahead and share that in the comments below. So next we have Maiueve. I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not the best at figuring out pronunciations. So we're going to go with Maiueve. Maiueve is a tier 3 terrestrial herbivore. The species is only available in the rotation store. The stored version is available in the Shoom shop for 1,125 Shooms. The description for Maiueve is as follows. Maiueve is an attractive plant-like creature. When threatened, it releases spores from the flower on its back that pacifies its enemies. Maiueve travel in tight-knit herds and are very sanitary and polished creatures. For you role players out there, the Maiueve is a very clean creature and will only drink fresh water. Maiueve can pick flowers and put them in their hair. It appears to be a hexapedal creature having 2 pairs of primary legs and a smaller set of legs which are located between the primary ones. It has a long neck, a rounded face, long ears, and a pair of simple, pointed horns. Its design features many heart-shaped motifs, having heart-shaped vines trailing down its neck and shoulders, legs, and tail. It has a flower growing from its rump and a mid-sized tail that tapers out into more of a fan shape. It has a heart-shaped crest floating above its head. The abilities of Maiueve are Area Sleep, Bleed Defense, and Guilt. Area Sleep is an active ability that causes all creatures nearby to sleep for 5 seconds and causes a player's creature to become slow or groggy for 30 seconds. There's a 60-second cooldown. Creatures flying or gliding when hit by this ability will only get groggy. Bleed Defense is a passive ability that allows creatures to resist the effects of bleed. If a creature's bleed defense is 100%, then they are immune to bleed done by melee direct attacks. Maiueve also has Guilt, which is a passive ability that activates when the ability user is attacked by another player, halving the damage of attackers for 20 seconds. A little trivia. The concept for Maiueve is by Ice Cream Navakoto on the Creatures of Sonaria Discord. It's inspired by the Greek goddess Aphrodite with a plant theme because Aphrodite's symbol is a rose. Maiueve's name is tagged in chat. Maiueve's animations are as follows. Walk. Run. Sit. Lay. Aggro. And cower. Its calls are as follows. Broadcast. Friendly. Aggro. And talk. As mentioned before, Maiueve is in the rotation store, and if you hurry, you can grab it for 1500 mush before it's rotated out. Puffwump is in the regular gachas. The omnivore gacha is only 85 mush per spin, so give it a try. Those are the 2 new creatures. As far as the other parts of the update, there were some stat changes to creatures. Here they are. I'll give you a moment to read them, but feel free to pause if you need more time. The devs stated that the Easter event will begin on April 8th, and also that significant development progress has been made with meshes and planned assets for the Easter event's arena. The boss and minions have already been fully modeled and rigged, and the programmers have been making steady progress towards rough tests with the NPC AI and some general boss mechanics. We're currently on track to release the event around the middle of this month, as was originally planned. Well, I'm going to give away a Maiueve and a Puffwump. There's going to be 2 different winners, each one getting one of the creatures. The giveaway ends on April 9th, so make sure you like, sub, and comment with your Roblox user and display. That's it for me, guys. Be kind to one another, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!